हेलो। Hello? Hello? I hope I'm audible. Hello? Hello? Yeah. So, yesterday we have started the previous topic on MSWD and mailing system. Today we will see the continuation of work and how we will deploy them in a real-time scenario. So, I request everyone to join. The session will be started very soon. So, the agenda is we'll write today's agenda. First step is mailing mail system, which is we have already seen in the last session. Second is all about sessions management using JWT token. Session management using JWT. So what is JWT and authentication systems? Next one is all about Git commands. Next one is GitLab. Sorry, not GitLab. It is deployment. Deployment. So next step is CI/CD. So what is CI/CD? Which is called as continuous integration, continuous development. So and we call them pipelines. So CI/CD, which is called as continuous integration, continuous development pipeline. So how these can be implemented in our today's scenario. With our existing project, we will deploy them in a various deployment levels. So later part of work, we will deploy in a one of the tool called as Versal and Render. We will see what is the process and how they can be worked out. So let's start with the first thing. We have already seen it as a sending emails. So we just open what we left yesterday and how it can be worked out. So open the browser, and what is the previous work we have given is how to display the companies. So we already said companies can be of different job roles and pay packages, and followed by some number of openings, and followed by a URL. So this work, which is yesterday we have given, which is very similar to view students. If you click on the view students, it will be the same. Only the thing is we have seen as a students, but today we will see it as a part of companies. So this is a work we have already done in a previous sessions, right? So let me come back once again what we are going to do in this session. So first open what we are going to do is sending email. Suppose consider send email. I think last time we have tried, but it is not working. So I mean, because of internet Wi-Fi restrictions, we will not get it. Select send OTP, because we have seen send email, and we will see what is send OTP. Suppose consider Murali Mohan 310. So Murali Mohan 310 at gmail.com or kluniversity.in, and send OTP. And check it out the inspect. So if you see the inspect, so if you got anything sent, then that means we will get it. But due to the reasons of mail system and all, we may not receive it. But Wi-Fi using your individual what you call a hotspot then mobile hotspot we may get. Other than that, it may be not be available for you due to the Wi-Fi reasons only, not because of the code. Suppose if you get any error in the console, you will get it, right? So let's move to the next thing. We will write down our important topic related to how we develop the yesterday's thing and OTP also. So first, write down at the send email because I will write a one step or a few steps which are required for the last thing. Send emails. So first, first we need first step is to connect with we required a two-factor authentication that we have for every email we require two-factor authentication or two-step authentication. Second step, we need app password. We need app password. Third step is we need to install a one more package called as OTP generator. One more package called as OTP generator. Right. Next thing is we need to use OTP hyphen generator. So the package is OTP hyphen generator, which is already there, which will take care about all the OTP generation mechanism. The next thing we need to understand is we need a port, which I already explained in the last class, but for understanding, I just connected. Port number, which is already required 587. So with this, let me check once again what are the important aspects we have included in our code. Also, previously we have seen the schema. So write down the next step, I mean separate step, we will see the code. How to create schema or models in MongoDB, and second thing is how we can uh, store and retrieve our data using CSV file. So for this, I want to tell you again, there is a CSV to JSON file. I mean, package has to be installed. CSV to CSVTO JSON is the package to be used for understand. Let's move on to directly what we have designed. So, and very important, very important, I forgot, we need to use a folder called as uploads. A directory should be there at the server. Uploads is a folder or a directory at your server side for a safe side or for storing. And this is what we have done in the last class, and for the companies we will see them, and we will also create some values and we will see them how it can be deployed today also, right? Let's get back to the code first. Let's understand how that is working. So in our code, we have already code wise, I already said models first to be created. If you remember the steps we have designed, we need to move to the models first. In the server side, we have a file called as companies, companies.js, which consists all the files, all the fields, companies.js. So in this, we have designed some of the fields like what CID, I mean company ID, company name, and salary and job roles, and last but not least, the company URL, which is already created like just like a student. This is the first step. Second step, remember these things must be there as your what we called as fields of your CSV file. So you can check it out in your uploads. If you open, I mean, in your project directory, there is an uploads is there, and we have uploaded by using, I think, testing 5. I think testing 4. Just right click it and open. Then you will see what is the CSV file looks like. So the first column is obviously the field names. I mean, sorry, first row. First row is obviously the field names. So CID, and it should be same. Yeah. So these must be same. If you spell it wrong, or if you give a space, job role, if your fields of this CSV file, if it is not mapped, then it will be a problem. So better, I request everyone to follow the field names, and the CSV header fields must be same. That's the first log. So this is the second step. Third step, go to index.js. In index.js, we need to import few packages. I already said Multer. So which is already installed for the yesterday class or session. So yes, so this is for Multer. For multiple files can be uploaded from the front, that is already there. Next, go to our route where the user will enter. What is the route they will enter? API slash upload companies. So app.post. Why it is post? Because we need to post that code, right? So in order to post our upload file into our schema, if you see carefully, just highlight company's schema. I mean, company's model schema. Company's model schema is required. So if there is a company's model, then only this will be stored, right? So company's model is our, yeah. So that is our table, or again and again table or collection. You can interchangeably call, but here we call a collection, right? If it is connected and it is add all or add many, so then only it will add many things. I mean, many rows can be added, right? Then successfully added. After this, if we click on it, companies, the another route. If you see carefully, we have done another route, app.get. Why it is get? Because we need to retrieve all the company details which is uploaded through the CSV file. Can be get it by using this code, app.get, which is common, like what selecting all, which is like select star. So I'm getting all the things from the company's model, and that is replied as a response. The third, fourth steps are completed. First is schema. Second is our routes, I mean CSV files. Then third and fourth, routes. But it won't work until unless we have a front end. So let's move on to the front end. So where is our front end thing? Client. Just collapse all the server things and go to client. In the client, we have SRC. Under SRC, we have companies. Under companies, first we need to upload the same logic. So select upload companies component. For your, I mean, most of the people write their own names. My suggestion is whatever the component name, whatever the table name, keep it same so that you will not get confused. So whenever we have a one component called as upload component, upload companies, this will be, this component will be raised. How this will work? Which is takes a file and which will be uploaded, and as a CSV data, it will be placed inside a thing. Can you highlight one important thing? How the connectivity established? Just highlight, I already said one of my student has uh, we work together, and he also done a lot of work. So he said there is a very important thing we may get a lot of errors is that path. Can you highlight one thing? HTTP colon localhost 8500, and very important. See, very important. Slash API slash upload companies. But at the back end, we use only slash API. This route will hit the backend route and automatically this communication established. How? By using CORS. This is the logic. So I request do not ever check this particular thing with you should be very cautious while working with the port number. Here, if you highlight 8500, what is the port which is our client is working is 3000. So I'm giving the port number of 8500 of the server. So we'll see them in action very soon. This is the work. So after that, what is the next step? We need to display. To display, we have created one more component. If you remember last class, companies. So if you click on the companies, I'm just displaying with card layer that I've created a one card where it will render all the results which is taken. You also select the path. Can you highlight that path is HTTP localhost? Again, that is very important. HTTP localhost 8500 slash API slash, and the most important, companies. If this is the same route which hits the backend, then only it will work. Otherwise, it won't. So mention which path you are accessing. This is very crucial. I will tell you some of times you have a proxy, then change S, HTTPS. Sometimes HTTP, sometimes HTTPS based on your. This is what we have done. But how they can be linked? This is what we have not seen it earlier. Can you move to the app.js where all these routes are stored? Is at app.js. See how many components we have included. In that, we have included our upload companies and companies imported in our import section. And we have routes we created in app.js. See carefully what is the element, what is the components they are connected, right? Absolutely. They are connected with what? Each component. So better there is a confusion. Always remember my suggestion is keep the same names. No confusion. Upload companies, upload companies. Then it will look good. So if these are ready, then we can automatically store multiple values. Let's try. I will create a one important Excel file, a CSV file with two fields. We will create at the desktop, and we will create a one CSV file with two fields. All I mean two rows only. Or better copy paste the things of already existing uploads companies. Open in a desktop. I mean desktop or somewhere you create a new CSV file. Yeah. Yeah. New, yes. So first field is all uppercases, no lowercase. CID, CNAME, all uppercase. Job role, sal or pay. Yesterday when I working, I got a big error because of this thing. Please open your schema in your VS Code and see what is the names. If you forget the names, that will be a big problem. So go to student schema models and see what is the names. CID, CNAME, job role, pay or whatever, and vacancy. And the last one is UCUR. That's it. So write the same things. So we have 5 already there. We will create a one only one, because we are need to cover a lot. So I request everyone to, we will add one thing, only one company, um, which is required is Tech Mahindra. We will add only one company ID. Give anything like CKL 6, very, very important. It should not be duplicate. So CKL 8 or CKL 9 or anything. Tech Mahindra developer, job role is developer, package is 15, LPA, and vacancies are 10, and company URL is www.mh.com. Just for understanding, I'm saying, don't click them, it won't work. So save them. Don't think, sir, you only created one file, one row. No, for understanding, for the time being, I'm just saying. So save as CSV file. So save as and see it's UTF-8. CSV UTF-8. Save as CSV UTF. Done. So now you just open our browser, and then we will do it. Upload companies and browse and upload that CSV file which we created. And click on companies. So So if you want to know whether it is working or not, also the best practice is to, yeah. So if you see, right click on it and see the inspect. Always my suggestion for all the students is go to console and see if you get anything, that means it is working. If you get any error, then you will get something, right? So absolutely they are object of collection of values. So with that note, I will try to give you one more important works. So I request everyone to see, this is very, very important concept of your additional features. So it is not like the regular thing. If you see regular things, it won't be nice. I mean, anybody can create anything, but these are the features which will change your project, right? Now, the most important topic of today is session management. Before that, I want to give you some keywords, and after that, we will see them. So there is a important word called as sessions and cookies. So what is sessions and what is cookies? This is very, very important. For that, to your screen, I will send you that pictures. Freeze. Uh, Right. So what we will do it is what is sessions, what is cookies, and how it is applied. We will see them in action. But before that, what is sessions and what is cookie? So session is a data in between your client and server, but that is stored at the server side. So I'll make it right that point. Very, very important point is sessions are stored at server for a transaction between client and server, like request and responses for a time period. For a time period. So based on a time period of it, it will be stored and retrieved. Second one, cookies. So just scroll up. So cookies are the same. Cookies are the data which are stored at client side. So these are like what username and credentials or username passwords, like storing your usernames and passwords at your client side. So what exactly these meaning? We will see it in action or see it in a previous way. We will see, I think a sir has already in the third day of our skill week, Balaji sir has already shown what is session, how to manage them, and we have already seen that. But why I started again? Because of a one more reason. Write down authentication versus authorization. This is a very, very important topic. Authentication versus authorization. AUTHORIZATION. So authentication versus authorization. So having credentials is like authentication. So very simple. Having credentials to access is called as authentication. Suppose you have ERP login or your LMS login or your email login, that is authentication, just an authentication. It is nothing but our regular usage of username and password. But what is authorization? Authorization is after authentication and accessing of resources. This is a big word. Authorization is a after authentication and permissions over resources to access. Resource to access. So what is this meaning? And what is the great thing? We will see it in action because it's a huge topic, and I will show you practically how we can incorporate, but not with the code. In practical, how they will do it. We'll see them in action. So I request everyone to visit this website. Can you open the website and see the most important thing of today's session? Most important, and it is very hard to implement also, called as jwt.io. jwt.io. So this is the very, very powerful website which is created by OAUTH Federation, and it is the most uh, suitable authentication authorization system nowadays. It is the best one which is till date. So no more sessions, no more passwords. And I will tell you with the example so that you will be more related. So how that can be worked out, we'll see them in action. So just scroll up and see who is implementing this JWT. Just scroll to the first and there you have the second button. Yes, click on that one and you will just scroll and you also know how many technologies are using JWT. including Python, including you may not aware of these many languages are available also. Just scroll. It's a continuation. It's continuation technologies which adapt to JWT. It's so many, including Python, Node, and what you call it, .NET and Microsoft Python. So many Dolly. So many technologies are using the JWT. They are customers for this open source token based system. How it will work? Just go to the home page again, jwt.io only, jwt.io only. In that, see the documentation, the first one. If you click on the violet one, right, just scroll to this documentation will give you everything. So I know how to incorporate these technology in a Node and React is not at all easy. Not at all easy, and it will take a lot of brainstorming. Otherwise, you will not understand what is the importance of JWT and what are the components involved. You may not aware until unless you know them, you cannot work with them. For this, I will take it as a one preliminary thing. Later, our faculty will definitely tell you how to implement in your JWT in your projects. Because again and again, I'm saying first know the concepts, then only you can touch this concept. Implement this work. Otherwise, you will be not at all able to understand what is happening, right? So go to the first, home page of the same JWT. Just back arrow, right? Scroll up. Yeah, there you see a very important thing. You can play anything by using this particular thing. There is a encoding and there is a decoding. There are two separate things are there, and there is a signature is there. Right side, so right side is all about a data, example JSON data. If you tamper, then the signature will change. Whatever the concepts of the left side or the JWT thing. So after changing those values, you will get to know how they can be implemented. So it is quite tricky. First, understand this concept, then we will know. So without any ado, first go to the notepad and write down few points to know about JWT. So JWT, JSON Web Token. JWT is nothing but JSON Web Token. Is a token which is used to authenticate and authorize, both authenticate and authorize, but mainly for authorization of communication between client server or server to server, between client server or server to server also. Very important. JWT consists three parts. A token, JWT token consists three parts. It's very important before you work, right? Token consists three parts. First one, header. Second one, payload. Third one, signature. So if you have these three, then it is called as JSON Web Token. What is header? If you just switch back to our jwt.io website, right? If you just scroll right, the left side portion having a three different colors. So the first, there are two periods are there, dots. So the dots will separate each one of them. So first one is header, one color. So colors are different. So first one, right, that is only header. The next portion is your data, the violet color thing. is your data that is appearing, right? And the last one, last color, which is a cyan color, that is your signature. This entire three parts cumulatively called as your web token. It is very, very important thing, and it is connected with a secret. How that is works? If you see at decoded right side, you can see what is the headers and what is the payload. Left side decoded. So just scroll up, I think you will get it decoded, right? So you can see that header is all about your what is your algorithm. ALG means if there is a JSON values are there. ALG H something is there, right? That is your algorithm. And the type of token you are working is your JSON web token. So automatically you can easily understood what is the headers. Headers consisting what is the type of algorithm you are used and what is the type of token you are using. What is the type? Just move on to the notes, please. And write down there are two types of tokens are there. JWT. JWT tokens are again of two types. The first one is general web token and refreshing token. So what is refreshing token and session token? Or suppose example, if I write, you can understand very easily. Or better, I will show you a diagram which is already there. So just see the things which are there. So in this, you can see clearly the difference between the left side is called as sessions, which is already there, and right side is your JWT wise. Okay, move to the next diagram. You'll see the next diagram, then you can understand very clearly. Next one. Yes. So if you see, this is happens in the earlier days. I request everyone to pay attention for this diagram, which is very, very important. Consider in a olden days, what will happen if a client left side to right side. So when a client sends a request and whatever the server is there, server will identify and adds that data back to as a response. Along with his response, his credentials and everything, and who is sent and what is the data, everything is sent back to the client through the browser. Then he takes that value and he will be taken care. That means these session details has to be stored at your right side. Right side means what? Server side. So that means not only server stores your information, but also your transactions. With a simple example, if you do it with the Facebook, Instagram, whatever you done, is it stored in the Facebook or not? Yes. If it is saved, then when you logged in, when you logged out, if everything is stored, that means server is having extra time, extra work to store them. That means data is wasted or storage is wasted to maintain this one. To reduce this one, we have the next opportunity, next thing. So if you see the next diagram, uh, the comparative study diagram, the two which will I will end up very both diagrams. So if you see, yeah, yes. If you see carefully, what is this is all about? The token is created by the server and it is created through the name of the user and details of the user required, followed by a secret key and send it back to the client, and which is not stored by at all by the server. Server will not store anything. Server will store only his details in the format of a token, and his secret key is with the server. Server don't reveal its secret key. So if you see the jwt.io again website, at your right side there is a secret key option is also there. You just move to jwt.io website again for the last thing. We have seen it, and in your right side there is a secret key. If you check mark it, automatically that secret key will automatically generated. If you check mark, then automatically server of JWT will be created. So that secret key will be shared. If you see there is a button called as share, you can share them after signing on. So it is very typical story. That's why I want you to clear first what is happening, then only you can understand. Otherwise, it is so tough to implement also if you know the concept. So I will break down all those points so that we will try to understand. So get back to the notes, very, very important, right? So very important steps. Header consisting algorithm and type of token. Next step, payload. Payload is actual data which is required or responded by a server. Payload is the actual data which is required by, which is requested by the client, sent by the server as a response, sent by the server as a response. So you can easily understood that server will respond in the one cover. What is the cover name? We have a one word also there, envelope. We'll see them all those technical words later. So the next thing is our signature or sign, SIGN. Sign is a signature which is done through the secret key of server, which is done by a secret key of a server. Very, very important. You cannot or we cannot tamper signature. This is very, very important. So because we don't know what is the secret key, then we cannot tamper. We can tamper the data, but you cannot tamper the signature, right? The most important thing is the next one. The token can be, if anybody, so the most important, if anyone tampered the token or lost the token, anyone tampered or lost the token, JWT will generate refreshing token. Refreshing token. Next line, you just write down. Refreshing tokens cannot be created again. But JWT tokens generate. Right. Next one. General token is having expiry time of up to 5 to 10 minutes. Whereas a refreshing token is having an hours or mostly 24 hours. I think you have any example for it. Just guess. I'll give in 1 minute how this is working in anywhere have you find two tokens can be generated, but not by the again. I mean, you can send only two things, two OTPs. Example, any I just want you to think. It is, I know it is a one kind of one way, but I want you to understand. Right. So just write down the best example you can understand. Yes. Fine. Hello? Right. So, okay. Right. So, best example is bank transactions or when you log in for first time or when you log into the banking portal. Always. Banking portal. Example, login, you will get a OTP, right? So one time password. OTP first time. Suppose you forget or you not receive the OTP, what will happen? You will send resend OTP, resend OTP. So that is called as a refreshing token, which is having a certain time and which will be automatically refreshed for a particular time period. After refresh token, you cannot send the third time OTP. It is not possible. We can do it only one time, and that is OTP. So these kind of tokens have the best example to convince our execution. So I request everyone to follow up this jwt.io and for n time being, just open last how it works. And sorry, but write down in the same again. Uh, there are two phases involved in JWT implementation. There are two phases involved in JWT mechanism implementation or JWT implementation. First thing, first step, it is not phase. So try to see this is not phase. So npm install JSON web token. This is the package we need to install. npm install JSON web token. Second is the most important thing is this web token has to be connected or generated by using payloads and everything is taken care by JSON web token itself. So what it will do? So first one is encoding. Phase one, you just write down phase one. Phase one. So that is encoding phase. Encoding phase. So what is the purpose of encoding phase? Is uh, generate JWT token with the secret key by a server side. You remember .env file, right? So note, you just write down the note. Create a secret underscore key, all uppercase. You know why? Because it is an environmental variable. So we should write secret underscore key equals to any secret key you can use. And suppose you can keep it KLCSE as your secret. This is the key has to be stored in .env file. Like you stored your MongoDB URL, you stored your email thing. Like that, you store one variable called a secret key inside your .env, which is used for secret key, and that too your index.js has to generate, which is called as encoding. How to generate? Which is done by API / encoding example generate. So next phase, second thing, second phase, decoding phase. So after generating that JWT, so go to the phase one again. So sorry for one more point I missed out, which is very important. In phase one itself, phase one, the generated token will be sent along with the response. Along with the response to the client, whoever client. That is specific. Next one, very, very, very important. The token is unique for a client. The most another important, this token is used for the this token is used by the client for accessing other requests to the server. So after that, you need to have this particular key, then only you can use for accessing the next token. If your response doesn't have that token, it won't work. So that's a major point. Similar to the next step, phase 2 decoding. What it will have? Whenever the server receives a receives a request after already created token is sent to the specific user, he will get a specific user. So first, suppose example, I am saying I'm a bank employee. I do have one more screen. I will tell you later. So what will happen? I'm a client. I'm asking one person called as Deepak. I sent a request and he said that next time if you want to talk with me, use this token, then only I will talk with you. Like what he given something like in some of the scams, they will give you some one kind of a secret code, right? So he said, whenever next time whoever calls or interacts with Deepak, he should, if I am like a Murli, if I want to interact with the Deepak, then I should use the word called as D. So D is the code between me and Deepak. But this D is not one. D is divided into three. What is the first one? Header. What is the second one? Actual data. Third one is what? The signature. I want to tell you with a simple example, then you will you just what is signature and what is this header and all. Example, the best example I can give it to you is your SSC memo or your intermediate memo or your plus two memo or if your degree memo. What will happen in that particular certificate? Example, in SSC certificate, what is the first one? You will appear Andhra Pradesh State Board of something. That is header. Who given this authority to certify it? That is your header. And what is your marks? That is there inside your middle of your certificate. And at the end, there will be signature from an authority or signature, or you can have something called as that QR codes nowadays, barcodes, or something like what there is a flashy, we call them something. So those holograms, right? So these and some universities like JNTU Hyderabad in MTech certificate, they include one chip also, electronic chip inside the certificate. If you Xerox, it will give you, it won't be, it will print like a copy. It will not print like original. Suppose if you print normal one, you can make it a colorful one. But if you take that empty certificate to a scan, it will print automatically copy. It is not original. Even you taken in the color Xerox or color print also, it will tell you copy. So how? Because they embossed some secret. All those enters in the last question. What is that? Signature. If you see JWT token is the same. First heading, in mid data, and the last one is what signature. How, what kind of a sign they use, what kind of a barcode they use, how they created, we don't. When somebody verifies your certificate by the government, they know, because they know how they created that signature. This is the same thing happens with the JWT. I think we have enough work for JWT for DCO. So just write down the next step, what it will do. After receiving that response from the client who is given this token, then the token is extracted and verify only the signature, not the data. Why? If the signature is tampered, that means data is tampered. If data is not changed, then it will generate the same hash code, which is done by the encoding. So how this is happening is because of the reason signature and secret. They will use the secret key to open, they will use the secret key to lock them. So we'll see them action also, don't worry. The same thing we will write and we'll see whether it is verified or not. In the jwt.io, there is a piggy.com. There is so many servers which will verify your secret keys of JWT. And the most important one, last one. The signature, if it is matched, then the request is processed. If the signature is not matched, if the signature is matched, then the response is generated. If the signature is, it's vice versa. It's a very simple. So that's all about one important thing. And very, very important thing. I want to tell you a very interesting thing is session management. Next line. Why this is so special, JWT, and you will understand. Seamless connectivity between servers also. Seamless connectivity between servers. What is this meaning? I think everyone using Zomato or everyone using what we call as any payment gateway. Zomato will not take your money. They have some third party, what we called as PayPal or help desk or bill desk will be there, right? So who is bill desk and where the data is, money is there, SBI. We just write down at that work. I already have a one diagram. I will showcase that diagram. Can you open the diagram of bank and retirement? There is a one diagram which is the no. So consider the best example. I will share with the resources in a GitHub very soon. We have a GitHub is also ready, and we will implement all those concepts. So just write down the best example is bank and payment gateways. A bank and payment gateways and the provider and customer. All those provider and customer. So example SBI is the bank. PayPal or Razorpay. I think last time PFSD students have worked with a Razorpay also. That will be the Razor payment provider. The payment gateway and provider. Example Zomato. So, and the fourth one, who is the customer? You, me, are like customers. All four seamlessly accessing, right? So I opened a Zomato and I selected one dish and ordered, and it will ask you a payment gateway, and I selected something like a razor pay. I selected SBI bank and submitted. Money is taken, and all those works happen between these by using seamlessly by using JWT only, no other thing. Let's try one thing, and then we will have one complete discussion, and later we will work with GitHub and deployment. For that, what we required, and before the closing our session, we need to have those steps with. So first, open the jwt.io, and for the last time, and we will try to work with left side in a JWT. There is a temporary thing is there, a JSON value. So you just write something inside mobile or a mail, not write in a header. Payload, inside a payload, you can write. You can write something like mobile equals to see automatically. See automatically, it will turn into red color. You see that. That means token is changed, data is tampered, data is asking someone. So mobile colon 2345, and select the thing and which is not same. So automatically you are tampering the do. And if you delete and make it ready. If you change them, that will be right. So if you change, and automatically it will be like a normal. So this is encoding and decoding. Suppose if you modify also, modify anything like header, if you delete, this is the left side is our encoded hash code, which is very, very important, and it is having a three parts, as I said, signature and everything. And if you change anything in the headers, the headers is a fixed one. So only you can, the whoever hacking will always look at this payload. And if they want to tamper the signature, they cannot, because the signature is not the signature. Signature also includes your secret key. That secret key we have selected somewhere else, 250. If you select any secret keys, you will see SHA-256. You can write a secret key also. Above there is a secret key mechanism also available. So we'll see them in action in your web token implementation. I request everyone to follow these steps of how to generate them and verify them. Now, last point for our notes, and after that, we will jump to our final concept of Git and CI/CD. So just move to the notepad and write down the last step, how to generate by using our code. This token, very, very important. This token must be added both client and server for authentication and authorization purpose. And JWT is having encode, decode methods. JWT module. JWT module is having, right? So I request everyone to work on this one. If you have any doubts, please consult your faculty members to get it right. Right. Let's move on. So just make it room for the new concept. Right. So VCS. What is VCS? So we will directly move to the next concept called as version control system. So what is version control system? Is to manage distributed developers for a distributed developers working on the common project. That's the simplest way to understand. This is not definition. So for your understanding, you, me, and everyone is following this kind of a work, right? Suppose we are about to work, then we have to use this particular step. VCS, there are so many things are there. So you just write down Git, GitLab, GitHub, Git, GitLab, GitHub, and next one, Big Bucket, Bitbucket. So there are so many other version control systems are also there. So, but most popular one is Microsoft Git. So who is the owner of GitHub is the Microsoft. So Git is a command line interface. Git is a command line interface. Next one, GitHub is a web-based management of projects. GitLab is web-based project management by a individual organizations. So these three has to be ready with your system or within your system, then only we can work with it. So for this, what are the commands are there? So I will list out all the commands first, and then we will work it out all those in a one by one. So commands which are very, very important. First, we need to, there are two technical words, repositories, projects. There are two things, repository, and there are so many technical words, repositories, projects, branches. I know there is a one session which is already organized in your earlier semesters, right? So branches and these are very, very three different things we need to understand. One is projects, repositories, and branches. So after that, what we are trying to do is we need to install our Git commands, Git CLI in your system by using Git version control system CLI. So I request everyone to install Git version control system CLI, command line interface CLI. No. Right. So what are the commands we will use them and what is the purpose of them is the next one. Very, very important. CI/CD. What is CI/CD? Is I already said, suppose you already deployed, then we use CI/CD. So Git is for before, CI/CD is after deploying. You can simply keep it in mind. I mean, for your understanding, I'm not saying that after that you should not use Git commands. I'm saying that for a better understanding, Git is before deploying and CI/CD is after deploying a project. So you can have that particular CI/CD operations have to be done, like Docker. I know some of you are heard about it. We'll see them in action. So let's write some of the commands or go to your command prompt and also open your VS Code. Both are important. First, open the command prompt. If your system CMD and just type git-v. So if it is installed and about to, I request, can you write down in the notepad also? Very, very important. These commands will work for version above 2.0. Version above 2.0 is considered. for these kind of operations, right? Right. Now move on to your VS Code. If your Git is already connected with your VS, there are a huge video, if possible, we'll share in our group very soon. Open a new terminal and just type Git same version, Git hyphen V. If you see carefully, if it is version is same available, then you are good to go. Just write down the same thing. It should be integrated, notepad. It should be integrated with, it should be integrated with your VS Code. If it is integrated, then it is very, very good because no need of anyone to do it, anything. I mean, we don't bother about Git to be installed and bash should be open, nothing. So let's try all those things. But before that, there is a deployments we need to do it. I request everyone to create your accounts before, I mean, after starting, we have to go to some of the deployment libraries. So you just write down the deployment also. Deployment hosting sites or deployment servers available. Hosting servers. Perfect. Ah, yes, you are right. The hosting sites is the correct one. I recommend you to use the free versions. There are some of them are paid. One is Heroku, Heroku, I think, right? Heroku. Second one is render.com. Next one is Versal, SEL. Yeah. Next one, fourth one is Netlify, Netlify, FY, right? FY, Y for you. Yes. And the fifth one is DigitalOcean. So, and sixth one, there is AWS, obviously, right? So these can be used. And I will tell you one other what we can do. Heroku, first write down Heroku. Nowadays it is paid. I mean, for a free of a traffic, it is okay. But if the traffic exceeds, then it will be a costly or paid version. So Heroku is the paid version. Next one, render free, Versal free, and Netlify is also free, but it is suitable for front ends, not for back end servers. So there is everything is having a one reason. Netlify is only for free, but front end only. Netlify suitable, not for suitable for front end only. DigitalOcean, it is not supports all features of Node. DigitalOcean free, but not supporting uh, things or documents or not. So right, not supporting community is also there. Not no community is available. That's a better word. AWS obviously it is paid. If it is traffic is increased, it's a commercial. So AWS is available. We can do it, but it is commercial. Right. So these are the things. For today's session, I need everyone to do it the Versal. So highlight the word. I mean, keep it as star mark for Versal. We will do it for today. Yeah. I request everyone to open your what you call as browsers and type Versal. I think it is different. VVRSEL. I think is it changed? No, this one. VRSEL. I think CEL. Yes, VRCEL. Right. So I request everyone to create an account, but before that, I request everyone to sign up with your GitHub. Click on the sign up or sign in with or log in with your GitHub only. Wait, do not click anything. Okay. So make sure it should be ready and then only you have to do it. So before that, your GitHub account should have uh, all our code. Just open our VS Code again. 1 second. VS Code. I request everyone to check all your folders without any errors or without any bugs, and then you have to convert this entire thing into a one kind of a GitHub repository. There are two things are there. You can individually create two repositories for client one, server one, or you can make it a combination of two as a we gonna make a one single copy. Also, it is works. So I request. So what are the prerequisites? I request open the notepad and write down your steps for before taking the break. So first step, login with your GitHub credentials or authenticate or yeah, correct word, credentials. Next one, second, very important. Create two repositories or one repositories each for your application. Example, client, one repository. Second, server, one repository, or ORR. That means client plus server, one repository. Next line, better, so that the difference should be understood. Right. Or also in between them. So that perfect. So either you create a one repository of each, or you can create per individually by using this particular approach. So I request everyone to make sure your codes should not be very important. Note, no errors or connection errors available in your ready-made in your application. No codes should consist of, better remove, I'm running out of words. Your code should not have any errors. That's correct word. Should not have any errors or bugs, especially database errors. There should not be any errors related to database. Otherwise, it will give you so many problems. right? So with that note, we will take a break now, and we will be back by 3:40. So I request everyone to take a break of now. Before that, you should be ready with your repositories. Otherwise, don't worry, I will tell you how to create with the VS Code also. Right? So I request everyone to be ready. Thank you. Right. So I hope everyone is back. So today we will write some of the commands first, and then we will apply accordingly. So it's a first, we will directly create a repository in your GitHub first. Then we will try to incorporate them. So steps to deployment. So I will apply everyone to these steps in your coding. Step one. Step one. Steps to deployment. So first step, create a repository in GitHub. For our example, I'm saying KL placement zone. One word, no spaces. So this will be my what you call a repository we need to create. It should be public, no other things. Next one. Create an I already said it. Yeah, it should be public. You can change them later. Third step is so create and integrate with GitHub and Vercel hosting website. Right. So I will break down these steps again and again. Right. Next one. I'm here creating only one repository which is having all those. Right. So next one. Deploy backend first. Using Node.js. Next step, deploy frontend by updating or modifying with backend database, backend URL, which is already deployed. Don't worry, I will clearly, it will take time, but we will successfully host, hope so, in our thing, right? So for this, we will do it and we will connect, and then if both are deployed, then we can connect with the backend. We will not touch the backend at all. We will directly use the front end only. So first thing, go ahead and what is the first step? Create a repository. So go to your GitHub account, GitHub only. So I request everyone to log in into your GitHub. Right? Create a new repository. Yes. And make it public and create a repository. Very good. Very, very important point. See what is the branch it is saying is a main or master. Because in the local system, the repository name is looks like we will use these comments. Don't worry. So just go to the GitHub master branches. It is generally a main branch or or a local branch. So I'll request sometimes it is a master, sometimes it is a main. So take it accordingly, right? So first step is done. I'm not uploading directly by using this one, right? So get back to your code, but before creating, it should be public. And what is the third one? Create and integrate with the GitHub. Not now. So I'll take one more step here. Go to server first. I mean, your these steps are exclusive. I'm not mentioned, but later we will update the notes, right? So we in VS Code, very important. Select you all minimize. I mean, minimize all the things, right? And select what is the project we have called Mernatig, right? So about it is already there. So right click on it and create a file. That name should be versal.json. VERCEL.json. Enter. So where you can do this versal.json is a very important. It is very important thing. Now go to the terminal again. And type something called cd server, cd server, and npm install versal. Very good. Install -g, G for global, right? Right, versal, VERSCL. Enter. So can you write down the same work in our integration with the, before integrating, we should have this one with you. So what should be there in a versal? Just click on a versal. Meanwhile, yeah, we just write down. Right. So create a versal.json and install npm install -g as your in npm install versal. That's a in server folder or in server directory. Right. Perfect. So what is the code inside a server versal.json? We'll see them. So just open versal, go to that. You can see, is there any code? Yes. So by default, some of the codes are there. SRC, server.js, server index, everything is created, client and everything, package. So this automatically created, and you have to modify according to your requirement. I repeat again, you just change them according to your requirement. I'm keeping as it is because let's see, if anything is wrong also we need to modify, but try to change accordingly, right? So you can see there is a slash API, then you need to change and accordingly to your folder structures or requirements. That's it. So up to this is the second or third step. Now, how to integrate our Git? So I request everyone, I think everything is created. Now clear and now CD out of your server. Very, very important. CD double, I mean, change the directory. Now you are in a main directory. So you have to come out from, I think it is a main, right? So what we have to do is we need to create a git init for our repository and we need to push the code. So what is the first command? Git init, git space init, enter. So git is initialized and we have it one location. Next one, git add dot, which will add all the files. Git space add space dot, not give a space. Yeah. So all the files will be added and ready for uses. Next, commit them. Git commit hyphen m, give a space, double quotes, first commit. Generally we will write like that, first commit, because in future we may change, right? First commit, right? Double quotes, enter. So it is ready, but here onwards we need to push our thing into our GitHub repository which we already created. First we need to know there are a lot of things. I know you can push very easily, but you need to check a lot of things. So first one is git branch. What is the branch you are looking, or you have? Git space branch. If you see carefully, it is master. But if you check it out in your GitHub, go to GitHub, and if you see what is the branch it is showing, main. So both are not same. If you push, it won't work. So I request you to copy that URL also, because we will add remotely. So how to select? You just click on them and select HTTPS of that particular thing. Now copy them. Wait, we are not done yet. First, we need to rename them. So how to rename? Simple. Git branch space hyphen m hyphen m. What is the modified thing? Main to master or master to main? Master to main. So no. No. Right. Now that is all. You can also do it with that commands also. Very good. So that's very nice. Now you need to add remote origin. So git, first we need to connect with origin, paste our URL. That should be right. Wait. That's what I'm looking. Get remote, get add remote origin, or let me confirm once. It is done. Just now push it. Git push, git push remote origin. Main. No. Yeah. Origin main. Wait for a few minutes. Right. So let's see whether it is reflected. Right. Superb. So one important thing, most of the problem happens if you click on the server, it is need to open, and if you click on the client, it has to branch them. So whether it is expanding or not. Yes, server is open, client, perfect. Client also? Right. Perfect. So I request everyone to take these commands. Can you copy them, commands, whatever we have written into a notepad? Don't worry, we will share these entire lines of codes or things into our what you call a manual kind of a look for a deployment. Soon we will share the things. First one is git init, second one is git add, next one is git commit -m -m. Yeah. First commit a message. You write a message like some message. Okay. Next one is git branch. Check the branch. First one is very important. Git branch. Right. Check the branch by using git branch. Right. Change the branch by using change the name of the branch by using next line use git branch -m -m. What is the old branch to new branch? I mean new branch to next branch. So next one git remove add origin space URI GitHub URI GitHub repository URI very specific so that no more confusion. GitHub repository. Yeah. Next one. After that we need to push. Yes. Perfect. And these are the commands we need to use them. I request everyone to do it. We will wait for a few minutes. Will I request everyone to check if there is no errors. If there is no errors, then use these commands. There are some other commands I will incorporate it later. Suppose you just write down. In case, just write down. Eighth one. In case to delete existing GitHub repository structure using git reset using git reset function. I mean command. Give a space. Git reset. Also, you can remove git reset and all the things. Very important. I request everyone to create this one from the commands. All these 8, if you have anything, will then move it. Right. Next, the most important thing is ready. Go to versal.com and log in with your GitHub. Yes. You get a one kind of new project. Yes. Check it out. Your GitHub should be connected and provide your, yeah, don't worry if you get these kind of errors, not a problem, not at all problem. It will keep on giving you the same error. Don't worry. So in case you get the same thing, it will keep on asking you. There is a other options is there, email, connect login with your email is there. Click on yes and provide your GitHub email which you connect on. I think it's being connected. Now open the Vercel again. With your email. Continue with the email only. Now go with the other options. Yeah, go with other options and check it out. Your GitHub again now. Yeah, it is. I think it is already authenticated. No. Generally, it will give you an automatically the select all the things. I think we missed out anything. Yeah, provide your GitHub credentials. I think you will get it directly. Continue with the email. Continue with the email. Okay, better sign up again. Sign up or register or like sign up. Hmm? This done. I'll give all this. Yeah, just check it out. Go to Vercel. Click on the Vercel homepage. Yeah. So I'll tell you again. Go to Notepad and write down some important steps. Authenticate using GitHub either with your email or which is there with the GitHub email only. GitHub email only, right? This is very, very important, right? So first step, we'll write the steps and we'll do it so that you will not get confused. First step, click on the button new project. So better we will do it, right? So do it, click on new project. So we'll do it, and first we need to deploy the server as per policy. I already said, right? So select right on the button and just pin you. Yeah, select the new project. Right. Let's build the new thing. So I request you to check it out. You need to follow the steps. That's it. Select your GitHub repository from here also. It's very, very important. So, right. It should display your all your repositories. Right? Select what is the repository we have selected. Search there. Yeah. Give all permissions. Yeah. Now you will able to see all your repositories. Right. So select search for your repository. Ah, which one? Yeah, first one. Whatever your account is there, that one. Right. Configure and search. Right, wait. Yeah. Configure others. Very good. You know the process. Right. Select node. Right. Select others, and we need to select others only. Better if you search. I want to tell you what are the things you need to select. So if you see, there are supporting so many. We need to work with a MERN stack. MERN stack requires first a backend. That is, we need to deploy backend, but there is no node. If you search also, you will not find a node. That's the reason select others. Later, we have to select the React, which is there. Okay, next. Yes. Wait. The configuration at server, we required some of the keys, environmental variables. So we need to provide environmental variables also. Build, there is a third option, environmental variables is there. Right. We will pass this one for a moment because we need to specify. I mean, we'll stop 1 minute for not to share our personalized information for a minute. Later we can share. So I request everyone to do it, all the steps which are given. Yeah. So environmental variables means we need to provide key and values of server. So like what is the key we have given in our previous thing, like we have something called as MongoDB URI, database URI, and host, secret key, a host and user and password of your email. Those should be presented like a key and value pair in environmental variables. So I request everyone to do it and keep on saying we use environmental variables, which is very important. Okay. So I request everyone to follow the first thing is you need to have one repository which is having a both client and server. So we need to select the server first, and then we have to select others and then deploy. Sometimes what will happen, it won't work if we provide a details related to both client server in a single repository without selecting them. So I request everyone to choose again for making ready. Please. We will try to work it out. Give us a time. All the environmental variables have to be presented. Again, please check. You should not deploy both in a one single file. So, I mean, client server should not be deployed because client, first, if you submit or if you upload or deploy server, then if it is successfully deployed, you will get a one kind of um, link or URL, which should be used in your client components. Wherever you use a server, you should replace them. That is very, very important. ఇది ఏం కాదన్నాడు So check whether you have selected server, and after that you have to update the versal.json file, which will be shared very soon. Meanwhile, you have to select only the server and then connect with or update the versal.json file, and in the repository itself you update, rather than again reinitializing or re-add or update. Don't do it again, because that is a part of version control. So I request everyone to uh, update versal.json, which I will share very soon. So I hope everyone is followed the instructions which I shared on the screen. But only one important thing we need to see is before executing this particular application, we need to be having a few steps which are required. One is versal.json has to be created in a such a way to see what is important, and versal.json is I will share it very soon. And in a client, first after deploying in a server, you need to see the companies where we have already created a local host, uh, 8500 slash companies we have used in a previously, but it is to be updated in a client side with our application name, something like our Versal .com has to be appear. So these should be used in your codes. And get back to our Versal.com again, the same process for selecting new project, but this time you have to updated your client side application repository, or repository URL has to be given, and it has automatically selects the React, and we need to deploy straight away. If there is no environmental variables are there, then if you all good, you will get this kind of a look of congratulations, and it will automatically display your application into your location, and use the URL for your further communication. If you click on the thing, then it will automatically load. This will be as so the above URL is just copy that URL and get back to the notepad, so that right. So this will be the our application URL. So it is secured KL placement zone dot whatever the configuration, but end up with the Vercel only, because it is the uh, hosting website. So if you have any domain name spacing purchased, then you have to use that. So another notepad we will write very important things to look at. First one is versal.json is very important, and selecting server is very important. And what are the important things? I'm just typing here. Selecting server is important. Keeping environmental variables is very important. And check it for versal.json for 404 errors also. That is very important. And last but not least, after selecting that specific URL, need to replace in client side components with that URL in all components, wherever in URL in client side URLs. Example, I'm saying one example. Consider we have companies component. Example, companies C, I mean companies component. In that component, next line, what is the path we have mentioned? I'm just writing here, HTTP colon localhost / localhost colon 8500, example, I mentioned that one, slash API slash, what is the next one we write? Companies. Perfect. This should be replaced. Copy our thing. Example, I'm not writing my URL now, because it still has to be done. HTTPS colon. It should be replaced after successful launching thing. HTTPS colon / KLU placements hyphen zone slash API. Yeah, very important. Vessel.api app slash API slash API slash what is that one? Component companies. This is to be applied for all components. This should be applied for all components. So I request everyone to apply these one, and most importantly, environmental variables and Versal.json is to be done. So if you have any queries regarding this, we will try to answer, or I will share with a one complete document which is useful for you. Thank you so much for listening to us, and try to practice this one also. And with this note, I will end up my session. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. First, you